Ruri Rocks. Ruri Rocks? Can someone who's Japanese, some Japanese, tell me if I'm pronouncing this right? Ruri Rocks is the name of this anime we're going to talk about, chat. Let's take a look at this because I kept passing it up. However, we've talked about so much anime, at least current anime, that we kind of talked about some of the bangers already. So I've been passing up this one quite a bit, but it's been popping up my feed a lot, chat. They're like, hey, Candy, talk about this. And I'm like, no, algorithm, I don't want to talk about this. However, I also saw a video about how diamonds, you know how diamonds are owned by a very small few, like the diamond mines and everything? I don't know if you heard about this, chat, but diamonds aren't very rare. And the reason why they're very high priced is because they just artificially inflate the price of it. Someone says there are far more rare rocks or crystals out there than just diamonds, chat. So if you're going to get your significant other, that's a big word. Yes, I said it perfect. A fancy jewelry, maybe not diamond. It looks pretty, but if anyone has ever played Minecraft knows that there are way more prettier, rocks, crystals out there, right? Diamonds are like crystals, just like in Minecraft. Exactly. I'd probably go for a ruby, chat. If someone's going to gift me something, I'd go for a ruby. Or sapphire. No, sapphire. That would be my favorite, right, chat? I like blue. And the reason why we're talking about, all of this Minecraft stuff, diamonds, rubies, and sapphire, they became so popular in Minecraft that they put it into the real world. It's crazy how that works, right? Oh, emerald's pretty good, too. Only because I like Sonic. And emerald... The Emerald, whatever they call them, is in Sonic, and I kind of like Sonic. I don't like the Sonic game. I like the Sonic lore. Whatever. We're getting sidetracked. Oh wait, her eyes are emerald, so we're not too sidetracked. Anyway, so we meet our main character. King Remedy says, "So my diamond mold of Danny DeVito's feet isn't worth the 575k." No, it's not. Well, actually, maybe it's Danny DeVito, so you never know. But we have the main character who is obsessed with these crystals. Is a diamond a crystal, chat? Doctor says he hates Sonic. He's a butthole. Like, really? That's funny. He can be. He's like he can be. I feel you on that one. So why, really, King Remedy? So are diamonds a type of crystal? Because we have the main character here who just loves crystals, right? You can see her best friend. I think that's her best friend, just right here. Also, what I've noticed about this anime is that even though it's about rocks, right? King Remedy says yes, diamonds are a crystal. Okay. Even though this anime is about rocks and doesn't have any action, is more slice of life. It's one of those kind of anime that is a little bit more you learn things as you go, which is very rare. I've seen an uptick of that type of anime. Tell me if I'm wrong, chat. But we also see the artist, like the creator of this anime, wants to create an anime about rocks, clearly. However, he or she isn't slacking on the female character designs. Because I was even talking to the bookkeeper about this, and she was like, why are all the women ugly? Why are all the women in anime getting uglier? Right? Not all of them, but like some of them. They're like, you have no reason for that character to be ugly, right? So, or you see someone who's too afraid to draw like someone who is curvy, right? Like this one. That's what I noticed it. I'm like, all right. King Remedy says, I think she's more interested in something else in this frame. No, she's looking at her nails. But over here you see her, like the main character's like checking out all this jewelry, as one does when they're in like, I think anyone wants to check out jewelry, chat. But maybe she's a little bit too much into jewelry, because it kind of shows how much of a brat she is, because she really wants it. See, I don't know how old she is, but she actually, the main character is a brat in this anime, which I find very unique, right? Who else? What other main character is a brat in an anime, chat? Who is it? If you say Naruto, you might be right, actually. King Remedy says, once I scam a crypto bro, I'm gonna buy some obsidian grills. You're gonna have black teeth like that lady from like Calypso from Pirates of the Caribbean. You know, I googled that and tried to figure out why her teeth was all black. Now, in fairness, I think the reason why her teeth were black is to keep off scurvy. I would assume she's using some witchy whatever or cream to keep off the scurvy. King Remedy says Naruto was a brat, but it was warranted. Unlike Konohamaru. Ah, you're right, King Remedy. King Remedy coming in with the knowledge. You're 100% right on that. But yeah, like I said, she's a little bit of a brat. And right here in this scene, I can't play the anime because copyright. And this actually may be copyright as well, but you know, we will cross that bridge when we get there. But she's saying something like, "Oh, all I have to do is beg. No, all I have to do is ask and someone to buy this for me, and they'll do it." That's what she's telling her friend over here, like this girl, which I haven't seen come into any of the anime. Because I think I watched the full one episode of this, and I haven't seen her since, just in the first episode. But she goes home and starts begging her mother, who's cooking what probably fried chicken. Chat, I'm hungry. Not really, but I could go for a bite of chicken. King Remedy says, "Did the bookkeeper buy your collar?" Anyway, so we so we so she's obsessed. She saw King Remedy just ate spaghetti. Ooh, spaghetti. Hot sauce or no hot sauce? She's so obsessed with these crystals that she's willing to go out and find them. Right, chat. Technically, King Remedy, she bought me everything, but that's not the topic right now. So she goes into the woods and she's like, "Hey, watch out, there are bears here." Chat, I've been watching a little documentary that doctor says, "Do you wear a collar? Because I can tell." Moving on, I'm gonna start ignoring non-topic. I'm telling you, chat, I'm gonna start ignoring some non-anime comments, just so you know. So don't think I'm being mean. I'm just doing a recording, all right? Jeez. Anyway, she goes into the woods and sees that, like, "Hey, watch out, there are bears here." Now, I've seen a little documentary from one of my favorite reaction channels, and they were reacting to this video of another content creator. Chat, is it stealing? Is reaction channel stealing? Like, I enjoy them, but man, Doctor says, "Is it Freddy Fazbear in this one?" Probably. I haven't seen no bear in this one, but what I've noticed that polar bears are like the most dangerous, bear out there. I've learned. If I see a sign that says there's a bear somewhere, I'm like, goodbye, 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 goodbye. Stay out of the forest, people. It's too dangerous. Doctor says he likes pandas. Did I say pandas? I said polar bears. Yeah, polar bears are the most dangerous. Pandas are adorable. I think they're still dangerous, but they're adorable. You ever seen that the videos of the panda keepers? They're like taking care of the pandas. That's so adorable. That's gotta be a cool job, but kind of stressful if they're like the pandas being dumb. Yeah. But oh no, pandas just made a nuclear missile and he's trying to press the button. Yeah, stuff like that, chat. You know, regular panda stuff. So we see the second main character, who knows all about rocks, apparently. Not the illegal rocks, okay? The legal rocks, not the illegal rocks. Okay, you know what? I'm not whatever. And she's in terms of a character, she's just the knowledge of it all, right? There's nothing really too special about it. If you just really love rocks, I was entertained the whole time. Also, remember I told you I don't like chibi face in anime because it kind of throws off like the vibe for me. Well, this one is fine. Like chibi face in an anime like this, like about hunting rocks. Yeah, adorable characters and everything. I can get behind that. I can get behind that, chat. So she asks her, almost said him. She asked her to take her, deeper into the forest. Now, in all honesty, chat, if you meet a stranger in the forest wearing gloves and maybe a shirt that's way too tight, I don't know, it doesn't matter who it is, maybe you should not be going with like these stranger danger, chat. Stranger danger. What happened to that? Huh? Come on, guys. Just because a pretty lady come out of nowhere and says, Hey, I could take you deeper into the woods. Yeah? Oh yeah, I could take you deeper into the woods for crystals, right? And shiny things. Anyway, chat, just be careful out there. All right. Stranger danger, stranger danger. But she clearly didn't have that. Maybe she's a martial artist, chat. Who knows? But she clearly didn't have any of that stranger danger teaching from her mother. So off she goes. Right now, I know some of you are wondering, Candy, what's with this butt photo? And I'll tell you. So, when I was going through the scenes, taking screenshots, I remember this scene, and I'm like, why did they zoom like have a close up on this lady's butt, right? And I noticed that it's because it has something to do with this bell. I'm assuming that people who go like rock hunting have a little bell, so if you get lost or you get hurt, you can just ring that bell. You can ring my bell, ring my bell, ring my bell, ring my. You can ring my bell, you can ring my bell, you can ring my. The ring my bell song, chat. You remember that, right? Also, seeing this scene also, they makes me think that the artist or the studio, they're not afraid to show off a character's figure, but also make it work for what they're trying to do. And I think that is one of the things that the bookkeeper really loves is that remember I told you a long time ago, not a long time ago, maybe a month ago, where we were talking about how when you're making a dish, right, you want it to be balanced. Not too much salt, not too much sugar. I don't know why you're using sugar and salt in the same dish, but whatever. Not too much yeast, not too much infection. That's the most disgusting joke I've ever had today. Anyway, we'll get there, chat. We'll get there. So everything's got to be balanced on this dish, the proverbial dish. And if I clip it here, what I mean by dish, I'm using a food metaphor. I'm not talking about this lady's butt. Her butt is not the dish. You know what? I'm gonna take it off the screen. So everything has to be balanced. What they're doing with this anime is creating balance. You have characters who are attractive, you have characters who are adorable, you have, characters who are, that's disgusting. King Remedy says, don't knock it till you know what? King Remedy says, don't knock it till you try it. Yeast infection sandwich breads go hard. That's disgusting. That's disgusting. Why? Stop it. Get some help. Anyway, I feel like they're cooking in the kitchen with this type of anime, chat. It's not necessarily my cup of tea. However, the artwork is good. The animation is like surprisingly good. Like if you look at some of the anime that you've seen in the past, where they're like, oh, they finally adapted this manga to anime. Oh no, this adaptation is garbage because the animation looks like sliding pictures, right, chat? So when I saw the animation of this, I'm like, oh wow. I mean, there's no action going on in this, but like on the few scenes where they got like really clean like a movement, oh man, it's awesome, chat. It's awesome. And so this is where I was telling you about how I'm learning something about how diamonds are even made, right? Like, so apparently diamonds are made when gases, like when lava is like raising to the surface and the gases get trapped within these veins, like so to speak, or they just get trapped in lava in general. Because those gases get trapped there, it creates crystals. It creates crystals, which I didn't know that. I had no idea like that. Like that's how. That's what happened, chat. I just thought, the diamond or this crystal fairy came down and just planted crystals in the ground. Yeah. And if you look down at the ground at any point in time and you don't see a crystal on the ground, that means the crystal fairy is on vacation. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, like I'm learning so much about like crystals that I just things I didn't know about. I wish this was in dub, but that's all right. Because if it's in dub, I could feel like I'm not missing anything. But because I have to read everything, I feel like I could miss some stuff, or the translation might be weird, right? It could be. It said, hey, if you want to find a crystal, you got to do a backflip and spin around 3 times, right? Who knows? King Remedy says, I thought hippie girls just conjured them out of thin air. You know what? You hear about that girl? I get back to that later, Doctor. But you hear about that girl uh who had crystals coming out of her eyeball? Not eyeball, but eyelid. That's very weird. Like, cause there's not supposed to be anything under there. Ugh. Ugh. But here's the thing: there's so many like abnormalities happening in like in third world countries that you're like, that's probably what happens when you have like dirty water or radiation or whatever they got going over there. There's so many. Anyway, we're getting off topic. So they're, I think, so they finished looking for crystals. I don't know why I didn't get screenshots of it, but they finished looking for crystals on the first day. The next day, they head out and they head to uncharted area. Now, with this part of the episode, kind of made me realize what kind of uh who, the little girl or the woman. She might actually just be very tall because I don't think her mother was that tall. Hold on, let's go back. That's a really good. Oh, I don't have a picture of it, but I'm like pretty sure she's the same, like slightly under the size of her mother in terms of height. Chat, like slightly under. Well, I didn't get that. I didn't get that scene, but that's a really good question, King Remedy. Thank you for being here. But Doctor. But so they head out into this on this path, and then you have a sign here that says, "Hey, no mining for crystals." I didn't even think that was a thing, but apparently, whatever. And what ended up happening, you see the main characters, the characters' childishness come into play inside of this episode, right? And she was gonna kick down the sign and just, go and mine for rocks regardless. And you have the woman who's like, nah. Look, if you don't calm down, I'm gonna take your little butt home. All right, I've known you for about a day, and if you're gonna be acting like this, I'm not gonna help you. And it really and they didn't add no music to this scene. They didn't add any fluff to this scene, right? They added nothing to the scene. It was like the animators and the writers was like, hey, after this anime comes out, they're gonna be a larger a group of young folks or people in general who are gonna be going out looking for these rocks. We need to set a precedent of saying, hey, just like it's great that you want to get into rocks. That's great because that's what this anime is about. However, follow the rules of signs that I can't read. Yeah, follow the kanji, chat. If you don't follow the kanji, you're gonna get in trouble and probably put in jail and then sent to North Korea. Yes. What kind of dealings Japan has with North Korea, I believe very few. Actually, fun fact about that. Did you know there are some North Korean schools in Japan? And there are some people who travel back and forth from, I don't know if I think they still do that. They travel back and forth from Japan to North Korea to help with this education, right? I'm not sure exactly how it all started, but there are North Korean schools in Japan. And what makes it crazy, what makes it crazy is that there is there's some Japanese people out there that just absolutely hate it too. Hates that there's North Korean schools out there. They got North Korean students who live there. They go to that school. I didn't know about that, chat, until I was hearing about it from the bookkeeper. Go figure. Think about that for a second. King Remedy says, it's too hot outside. We'd rather steal the cheese. Just rather steal the rocks. You're going to see signs like that says no stealing. All right. Yeah. So you have a moment of that doubles down on trying to teach the viewers that, hey, it's great. You want to be you want to go hunting rocks, but don't go doing it illegally. All right. So they had to leave and go find rocks somewhere else. And apparently, and this is another thing I learned. This actually might be one of these first anime in my entire life where I've learned a lot. Chat. King Remedy says he loves stealing from diamond stores in Minecraft. Stealing is wrong, chat. Unless you're stealing air, then that's okay. But you just yeah, that's stole air. Whatever, that's stupid. Don't ignore me. Anyway, So I don't know what these are, but they're not rubies. Um, I they're a word that I've never heard before, chat, and I'm upset because I can't figure it out. King Remy says it's kind of hypocritical of you. You stole my heart. Aw. Anyway, so I honestly don't know what these are, but apparently how they found them was inside of a river. I didn't get the screenshot of that. I don't know why. But they found it in a river, and because apparently you can one of the reasons why you will see a lot of prospectors, I don't know if they still call them prospectors, chat, like are in the river, just like trying to siphon out the dirt, moving the dirt around and trying to find something valuable, is because when you have rivers going down off of mountains, it pools resources, right? uh Quite a bit, apparently, quite a bit, that people are spending like hours, like all day doing that. It's kind of like going fishing, chat, but for valuable gold or jewelry or whatever you want to call it, chat. But I like I said before, this anime, Ruri Rocks, is probably the first anime in my entire life where I've learned something. And I'm not counting Goku or Dragon Ball, right? I've learned a lot of, like, inspirational things from Goku, cuz he is hope, right? He's my Superman, right? Pretty much. But this anime, in terms of how rocks are formed, and all, I already knew how rocks were formed. I didn't know how crystals were formed. And I feel like if I keep watching this dish that seems like perfectly seasoned will give me food for the eyes and food for the mind. Anyway, chat, on with the rest of the show.